in some of our previous videos, we've talked about the sex challenges we do. We particularly talked about the quickie challenge. That's one we talked about recently. Well, we just started a new challenge yesterday. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you a little more about sex challenges and a little more about the sex challenge that we are doing today. We are the sexagenarian sages.
And we are here to bust the myths of sex and aging.
Well, why would you do a sex challenge?
Well, I can think of a lot of reasons. Maybe you've got a sex life that's gotten really stale. Or maybe it's been a while since you've been able to have sex. Kids, career, job, vacation that interrupted it, whatever. Maybe you've had an illness.
Or maybe there's something new that you want to practice a little bit, because sex challenges are a good way to practice things.
Yep.
They're a little bit different from the sex labs that we've talked about, because sex challenges are over the course of a number of days.
Yep.
And how many days is open to negotiation.
Right.
So,
which brings us up to the first important aspect to a sex challenge. Negotiation.
yes.
You need to work out between the two of you, what is it that you want for duration? How long do you want it to go on? What is it you want to do in this challenge? What are you trying to learn? What's your goal? Those are some of the things that we sat down and we ironed out.
So for this particular challenge, well, actually, let's talk a little bit about why we decided to do this challenge.
Okay. Our lives have been chaotic for the past few months. We've been attending conferences. We've had major illnesses in the family. And on top of that, I'm training for an ultra marathon. All these things that have been taking up time and energy and attention.
We had a little discussion recently. We both have been we've had desire for sex, but haven't been initiating. Because in my case, I felt like I was being a bother. He's training for an ultra marathon or marathon at this point. Of course he's tired. So why do I want to bother him by asking him for sex? Well, I'm not even taking into account that he may want sex even, he's the one that can judge how tired he is. Why am I suppressing my desire to try to protect him?
You're making the decision for me.
Yeah, I was making the decision for you.
Yeah.
And you were also doing the same thing.
Well, sure. We've been under a lot of stress with these family illnesses and with our travel. And so it's been put on the back burner. There have been other things that have been more important for us to handle at any given moment. And besides, we all know how stress can affect our desire.
Yep. And yet I would have liked you to ask. I might have said yes. I might have said no, depending on what was going on at the time. And quite frankly, with all the stress I've been under the last few weeks, the extra boost from the chemicals from sex probably would have done me some good.
Yeah, it might have.
So
I'm not sure that I was in a position to want to offer because of the stress that I was going through. So for me, it was more of, I kind of need alone time.
Okay.
And that's something that we both understand about each other and can work out. But we decided the time is now to make that change.
So what we did is we sat down yesterday.
Day before, I think.
Okay. And ironed out what we wanted to do for a sex challenge to help get us back on a roll with our sex life. And we decided that for 28 days, the next 28 days, we are going to have sex at least 20 times. One of the first things was defining what sex was for this challenge. And we decided that for this challenge, we wanted at least one, if not both of us, to have genital contact.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have genital contact to have sex.
There are other things that you can put into your challenge. Maybe climax is what's important rather than just orgasm. And you've probably heard us before talk a little bit about the difference of the two. You may be trying out something new, some new condoms, new positions, something along those lines.
I want to step back a little bit. Why are we only doing 20 of the next 28 days? If we put it down for every single day, that would become pressure.
Yep.
You have to do it. And quite honestly, there may be days when it just isn't going to work.
It's not feasible.
Yep.
We got too much else going on.
So by putting those 8 days in there, we've built ourselves a little bit of cushion where we can decide that, okay, we've still got plenty of time. Let's use one of our 8 days today. It just isn't going to work.
So we set things up so that we would have this period going until the end of October. 20 days in those 28 will be a day where we have sex.
Yep. And it will involve both of us, but in some cases, only one of us may be the receiver. That's acceptable. Or we're both giving and receiving at the same time. That's going to be on a day-by-day basis.
So what were the goals that we had in mind?
Well, actually, I think the biggest goal was to re-establish our connection and to prioritize our sex lives. That was the biggest goal.
Yep, I think so.
Yep. And the other goal that I have in mind is I want to get some of those feel-good chemicals flowing again. They do me good. I feel so good when I keep them flowing. And so I want more of them.
It'll help me too, because I get the same thing going on in my body.
Now, there are other elements to a sex challenge. Depending on what you're doing, you may need to plan out what you need for toys or other resources, maybe education and so on. But you talked about goals. This doesn't necessarily have to be to attain a particular goal, but it's good to set up either a reward or a punishment for completing the challenge.
Right.
And I say reward or punishment because people are different. Some are motivated by reward, knowing that they'll get whatever at the end. Some are more motivated by punishment, that, okay, I want to avoid this, so I'm going to do my best to complete this challenge.
Right. Yep.
And in this particular case, we're going for a reward for you and a punishment for me. Is it okay if I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when we complete 20 days over the next 28, we are going to order a particular sex toy that he's been wanting. I kind of go back and forth between reward and punishment. At the stage where I am right now, punishment's going to be more of a motivator for me. And punishment is actually going to be getting on here and telling you that I did not do what I needed to do to complete the 20 out of 28 days.
Kind of admitting to,
Yeah,
shall we say, failure.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really failure.
It's not failure, it's
Not completing the challenge.
no, it's publicly sharing that I did not do what I committed to do.
It is accountability.
Yeah,
isn't
it is accountability.
So you people are going to be holding us accountable.
Yep. So if we don't complete at least 20 days over the next 28, and it's because I have not said yes often enough or have not initiated often enough, then I have to get on here and do it. And if we complete 20 out of the next 28 days, he gets his new sex toy.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
If you want to learn how to do one of these sex challenges, because there are some other elements that we're not telling you about that you need to know in order to make the sex challenge really juicy and really work.
not only that, but it also, especially when you're new to it, it helps to have that cheerleader and accountability partner.
Sure.
Which is what we serve as.
So talk to us, contact us. We will offer you for $25 your own sex challenge. So you got to get on there and talk to us. Give us a call. We'll have our link down below to set up a phone call with us. And we will help you work one of these out.
And you do not have to be in a partnership to do a sex challenge.
Absolutely. It can be a solo challenge.
Yep. Okay. What else do you have to say?
I feel complete.
Okay. So we will update you on a weekly basis on how we are doing with our October sex challenge. So far, we've had 2 out of 2 days.
Yep.
Just finished today's. And so we'll keep you updated on how we are doing on our sex challenge. So tune into our videos the next few weeks to find out how we're doing with our 20 out of 28 day sex challenge.
Thanks for joining.
You have something you'd like to say?
Well, make sure you subscribe, share this video, and like it. Put some comments on there too.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you're not comfortable doing comments, contact us through our email. We're happy to answer questions.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
And have a beautiful day.